Hiya, my name is Pete and I'm going to show you how to play The Devil Wears a Suit and Tie by Colter Wall. Now, Colter Wall is a 20-something Canadian singer-songwriter who writes what you might describe as contemporary cowboy music. I think that's the way I would describe it. It's generally played in standard tuning. There's lots of finger picking, lots of Travis picking, and the lyrics are very much sort of a cross between old sort of Western versus modern anecdotal stories. So look him up on YouTube. He's very good. I was lucky enough to go and see him back in February in Leeds, and he's the real deal. So let's get into the tutorial then. The tuning for this is standard, and I think some people have got a little bit confused when they've tried to learn some of Colter Wall's songs, because he has a very deep voice, and what he does to sort of partner that is he tunes his guitar down a whole step, and so sometimes it doesn't sound where his hands are on the fretboard doesn't seem to quite match the pitch you might be used to from a guitar. Now my voice is nowhere near as deep as that, so my guitar is still in standard tuning, and I've put my capo on the 2nd fret. So if you want to check on a chromatic tuner what it should sound like, then I've got F sharp, and then we got B, E, A, C sharp, and then F sharp. So it's standard tuning, capo on the 2nd fret, check all the notes are where they should be on a chromatic tuner, and we are good to go. Right, so I've done a cover of this on my channel. I think when I did my cover I went straight into the sort of the palm muted E minor position, and there's actually a little bit before that. Kind of forgot that bit, never mind. And that's this bit. It's quite easy. Middle finger, 4th fret, 3rd string, index finger, 3rd fret, 2nd string, and you're going to slide into that position from below. So, and pluck 3, 2, 3, drop down 1 fret, 3, 2, 3 again, drop down another fret, and just pause there. And then you're into an E minor position. Now normally when I play E minor I would normally use my middle finger and my ring finger, because then you can transition between between the minor position and the major position. But within this song there's a lot of the time we're going to be playing E minor with our index and our middle finger on 5 and 4, strings 5 and 4, 2nd fret, and that's to do with the sort of the pivoting from the various E minor positions into the C shape, and that middle finger is going to be anchored for quite a lot of it on the 4th string, 2nd fret. So that's just kind of your reference point, if you like. So bars 2, 3, 4 and 5, then you've basically got this palm muted sound. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. And then just to finish the 5th bar, you're plucking 2nd string, hammer to the 3rd fret using ring finger, and then 1st string open, like that. And then you're into the main riff. And so on. So this is section A on the tab, and I've labelled this as the intro. And start with your index and middle fingers, 2nd fret, strings 5 and 4, in that E minor position, and you're going to use your little finger and your ring finger on the 3rd fret, strings 1 and 2. Halfway through the bar I'm going to move my middle finger and my ring finger to strings 2 and 3. So it's quite a subtle little change, but watch for that. I found it easier just to have both fingers on and then move them to both fingers on in the same position. So bar 6 then, we are playing open 6th string, and then strings 4 and 1 together. Incidentally, it's sort of standard right hand Travis picking here, so thumbs covering strings 6, 5 and 4, index is on 3, middle is on 2, ring is on 1. So bar 6, open 6th string, 4 and 1 together, 6 and 2, and you're going to hammer So that's where you move those two fingers up. So the hammer-on is actually done with the little finger, but I'm placing my ring finger in readiness on that third string, third fret. So 6, 4 and 1, 6 and 2, hammer on with that little finger, open first string, and then 4, 3, and you need to emphasize that sort of discordant note there. It's the last note of bar 6. So bar 6 sounds like this. I'll play that again slowly. Then into bar 7. Take all the fingers off except from your middle finger and leave that on the 4 string 2nd fret. And we're playing 6, 2, 4, 3, open 5, 2, and then 5 again, but bring your index finger onto the 2nd fret, and then open 3rd string. So 7th bar again sounds like this. And then from there you're into the 8th bar, and from here I'm going to leave my middle finger where it is and pivot round into a C shape. So index finger, 2nd string, 1st fret, ring finger, 3rd fret, 5th string, and I pluck 5, 4 and 3 together, and I'm going to hammer on with my middle finger like that. So 5, 4 and 3, hammer on to the 2nd fret, 2, and then 6, but walk your ring finger up to the 3rd fret on the 6th string. And you're also going to put your little finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. So 2nd half of bar 8, you've got 6, 1, 4, 3, like that. So it sounds like this. Play that again slowly. And then into the 9th bar. This is the first repeat, the first bar of the repeat section. Again, bring your ring finger back down to the normal place you'd have it for a C, which is 5th string, 3rd fret. And I'm playing 5, 2, 4, open, hammer to the 2nd fret, 3rd string, open, and then again 6, 1, and that's with the ring finger and the little finger on the 3rd fret, string 6 and 1 respectively. 6, 1, 4th string, 3rd string. So if we play bars 6 to 9 slowly, here we go. And then you go back round through bars 6, 7 and 8 again, and then into the 2nd repeat. So you've done a... So into the 10th bar then, you're in a C shape, and you pluck the 5th string for a beat, strings 3 and 2 together, and you're going to hammer on and off the 3rd string, 2nd fret with your middle finger, like this. And then 4th string, open, hammer to 2nd fret with middle finger again, open 3rd string, and then move your ring finger to the 3rd fret, 6th string, and just give it a little bit of a downward pull, a little bend there, just to finish that bar. So bar 10 sounds like this. And then from there, you're back into that E minor position. And note that my middle finger stays back on that 4th string, 2nd fret position as I'm transitioning back from that C shape into the E minor position. And then we're back into the 11th bar, which I think is pretty much the same as the 6th bar, was it? Something like that. This is bar 13 now. So this is a sort of a walk down through a C shape into sort of a C through a G into an A minor. So I'm playing 5, 3, 4, 2 in a C shape. Then move your middle finger to 2nd fret 5th string. Everything else open. 5, 3, 4, 2. And then middle finger and ring finger, strings 3 and 4, 2nd fret. And I'm playing 5, 4, 3, 5, 2, 4, 3. That's bar 14. Incidentally, I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning. If you try and play this straight, it doesn't sound right at all. And it's actually easier if you try and sort of swing it a little bit. And the way to do that is immediately after you've plucked a string with your finger. Generally, you're playing the thumb stroke immediately afterwards. So this would be playing it straight. And then if you swing it, you see how immediately after the finger stroke, the thumb stroke comes. And so on. Okay, so that was bar 14 into bar 15 then. Just coming out of that. Still in that A minor position. Leave those 2 fingers there because you're going to hammer on, plucking 5 and 2 together, and hammer on to the 1st fret, string 2. So 5 and 2, hammer on, 4th string, 1st string, and then 5, 2, 4, 3. So bar 15 again. 5, 2, 4, 3, and then here we're into the sort of the bass note followed by the quite abrupt chord shapes. So the first one in bar 16, play the open 6th string, and then you're strumming an E minor. It's not peaking, is it? No, fine. Okay, so 6th string, E minor shape. So strings 5 and 4, 2nd fret. And then open 5th string, and I found the easiest way to play this next chord, it's sort of an A7 kind of shape. So bar, strings 4, 3, 2 and 1 with your index finger, all of those on the 2nd fret, and then I use my ring finger just to hold down the 1st string on the 3rd fret. So we've got 6, E minor, 5, A7 shape. On the tab I've written it as this: 5, pluck the bottom 3 strings, strum down, and then pick the open 6th string like that, and then into bar 17 an open E string, again E, pull, strum like that. And I think on the tab I've marked strings 4, 3 and 2. It doesn't really matter exactly which strings you get because you're in an E minor shape. It doesn't matter if you're higher up or lower down, it's still the same effect. And then the second half of bar 17, you're going to move into this shape. So middle finger, 2nd fret 5th string, index finger 1st fret 4th string, ring finger 2nd fret 3rd string. Like that. I think it's a sort of a B7 kind of shape really. So string 5, pull, strum, back up again. Like that. And then you're into that that bar with the run in it, and it starts by playing a sort of a deadened open sixth string. So you can rest the back of your palm just on the edge of the saddle here, and then pluck that open sixth string like that. And then the sequence is as follows, and these are like triplet notes. So first of all, middle finger, 4th string, 2nd fret, and I'm plucking with thumb, index, thumb, 4, 3, 4, and then you're pulling off to 1st fret, open fret on the 4th string, so, and then again 5th string, same thing, 2, 1, open, pluck the 6th string on the 3rd fret, and then open 6th string, and then a deadened, well, not deadened, just play it quite quickly, E minor shape, and that's bar 19. So if we go from bar 16, then this is the play that slowly then. From bar 16, open 6, E minor shape, open 5, that's that A7 shape, open 6, E minor shape, and then 5th string fretted on the 2nd, 2, 1, 2, and then you're into the verse shape. Now the verse shape is basically the same as the introduction, except for the first 2 bars of each 4 you're basically playing a palm muted E minor shape. So Reverend, Reverend, please come quick. So those bars 22 and 23 are exactly the same as you encountered on bars, where are we? Bars 8 and 9 of the introduction. There is a subtle little thing to look out for in bar 20 and 21, and watch what I do with my index finger here. Reverend, Reverend, please come. So it goes off there and then back on again. Reverend, Reverend, please come quick. I got something to admit. And so on through the verse. And it's virtually the same as the introduction, other than those strummed bars in between. Now, the chorus, as you've come out of the don't you know the devil wears... Now, this is just a standard A minor chord. So, fret 2, 4 strings 4 and 3, and fret 1 for string 2, and use middle, ring, index in that shape. So we've got, don't you know the devil wears a suit and tie? And I've moved from an A minor up to an E minor position there. Suit and tie, saw him driving down the 61 in early July. Okay, and on that little bit, again, I'm taking my middle finger off, and I use my index finger on the 1st fret of the 5th string. And that's just towards the end of bar 40. Don't you know the devil wears a suit and tie? I saw him driving down the 61 in early July. There. Okay, early July, like that. Driving down the 61 in early July, wide as a cotton field and sharp as a knife. Okay, so again, that A minor shape, wide as a cotton field and sharp as a knife. I heard him. Now then, this chord sequence is a bit fiddly. I heard him howling as he passed me by. So the first chord, we've got 2nd fret, middle finger, string 5, 1st fret, index finger, string 4, and 2nd fret, 3rd string, ring finger. And there's sort of 2 strums on each of these shapes. So I heard him howling, and then take off your middle finger and move your index finger to the 5th string, 1st fret, like that, howling. and then you're going to move that index finger back down like that to the first fret of the 4th string. So the shape looks like this. And then 6th string 3rd fret, bit of a bend, just to finish that. And then you're into the, I've labelled it part D as the solo. So just playing that chorus all the way through then. Don't you know the devil wears a suit and tie? I saw him driving down the 61 in early July. Wide as the cotton field and sharp as a knife. I heard him howling as he passed me by. Right, so the solo section, this is bar 44. Basically, you're playing the E minor shape, but with index and middle, because you're going to put ring and little finger on 3rd fret, strings 1 and 2, but partway through the bar, I'm going to move them to strings 2 and 3. So you've got a sort of a down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up feel going with your right hand. So you basically get the sound by having the fingers on the downstroke and off again on the upstroke. So from bar 44, and at the end of bar 45 you've got that bend on the 6th string 3rd fret again. And just experiment with moving your ring and little finger as a pair between strings 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, but stay in the 3rd fret. So look at the tab for what I've suggested, but just have a bit of an experiment with that bit. So after you've done that for 3 bars, then as you go into the 47th bar, you're sliding from 2nd fret to 4th fret on the 3rd string, fret the 2nd string on the 3rd fret with your index finger, open 1st string, 2nd string is still on the 3rd fret, and then you pluck the 3rd string and it's on the 4th fret, but immediately I slide it to the 2nd fret like that, and then open, so pull it to open like that, and then 4th string, 2nd fret, and release to open as well. So you get this. Like that. And then you're back into your... And he said... And then you're around to your next verse and your next chorus and so on. There is... couple of other little bits in the song that I'll show you, because basically between that introduction shape, the verse shape, and that section in the solo that follows the chorus, that's pretty much the constituent parts of the song, and you can probably put it together from that. There is one other bit which I've labelled, it's bar 52 and it's labelled bridge in the tab, and this is basically the same as bars 44 through 46 almost from the solo. So it's when you're doing the... this would be the end of the bar 45 or end of bar 53, they're the same. And then you're going into that barred A shape, but put your little finger on the 5th fret this time. Instead of that 7th shape, you've actually got the A at the top of the octave there as well. Now, this is bar 54 and 55. I think he plays this after he's done the 2nd chorus. I heard him howling as he passed me by. So as you come out of bar 55, on the tab I've put open string 5, open first string, and then first fret on 5th string, open first like that. But you can sort of do it just with just with strumming if you're careful with what strings you hit. You're trying to emphasize that walk up on the bass. So I think when I played it on the cover I did it like this. And then you're into that 2, 1, 2, some kind of B7 shape, I think. Middle, 2nd fret, 5th string, index, 1st fret, 4th string, ring, 2nd fret, 3rd string, into bar 56. So, and I think on the tab I've also put that if you're really feeling adventurous, you can put your little finger on the 2nd fret, 1st string, like that. And then it's the same kind of walk down that you had in the introduction, that shape to, so 1st fret, open, 2nd fret, and then open, 1st, 2nd fret like that, bend on the 3rd fret, 6th string, and then you're back into the foolish, foolish, so was I, and so on. So when you're playing through the last verse, foolish, foolish was I, damn my foolish pride, 'cause that man's lessons had a price, oh sweet price. Now this is where we come into bar 62 on the tab. The last line of the last verse, you've got my sweet soul, bar 62 this is, my sweet soul, E minor shape, everlasting. That's bar strings 4, 3, 2 and 1, 2nd fret, hold down the 1st string on the 3rd fret, everlasting, my very own, E minor shape again, eternal. And then we've got that 2, 1, 2 shape, little finger on the 2nd fret, 1st string if you want, eternal light, and then you've got that run. And pause on the 6th string fretted on the 3rd fret using your ring finger. And you can play this quite dramatically and slowly. And then you're back into the chorus twice to finish. Don't you know the devil wears a suit and tie? I saw him driving down the 61 in early July, white as a cotton field and sharp as a knife. I heard him howling as he passed me by. Oh, the devil wears a suit and tie. I saw him driving down the 61 in early July, white as a cotton field and sharp as a knife. I heard him howling as he passed me by. Now that's bar 66 on the tab. I've marked it as last chord to finish. So once you've come down through that, I heard him howling as he passed me by. You can either end on an E minor shape and then you can pluck out the chords. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's just an E minor shape with the 1st string fretted on the 3rd fret. And then just finish it with a downward strum like that. And that just about covers it. So as always, the tab is available on my website for free, help yourself. And it's not the full song written out completely tabbed. It's sufficient sequence of introduction, verse, chorus, the bridge, the little adaptation of the last line of the last verse, and the sort of the finishing bar. I've put in all the building blocks that you need there. But if you watch my cover, or if you watch Colter Wall, he's better at it than me, let's face it. If you watch either of those, and it should all make sense. And as usual, if you've enjoyed this video and if you enjoy my channel in general, then please hit like, please leave me a comment. I do try and reply to everybody. I've got quite a few subscribers now, getting close to 3,000. I'm still trying to keep up with replying to everybody, and it's great to hear from anybody that's subscribed recently. Don't think you can only comment if you've been subscribed to my channel for like 3 years or something like that, or however long I've been doing this little journey. Yeah, I will see you in the next video, probably some more Colter Wall stuff, I'm still working my way through Railroad Bill and the Townes Van Zandt one, Snake Mountain Blues. And then hopefully by the time I've got through all that, we'll be getting close to June the 1st for the next Ben Howard album. Very excited. Okay, good times. I'll see you next time. Cheers then. Bye.